Alright folks, we're back out messing with the houseboat again finally. Today I'm going to see about cutting this beam to size to fit up there between point A and point B. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, right off the bat I can see some inconsistencies in the last person's work. See this, I don't know, this looked like this might have been a hinge joint or something for maybe an awning or something that folded out. Got one on one side, one on the other. But if you notice, that one is outside the post. This one is partially inside the post. And I've already tried to fit the beam end up in here. And it won't fit. It hangs off this side of the vertical post because this hinge joint is too far inboard, which makes me not able to land the square beam here, but it will land over there. So they just randomly just bolted the dang things up there. So now I'm gonna have to cut them off so I can get my beam up there, or maybe I can unbolt it, but that's gonna leave some bolts coming down through the roof. And as you know, I've already fiberglassed up on top of the roof up there, so these bolts would have to be, the bolts sticking down through would have to be cut off and ground flush, all that kind of mess. But guess that's what I'm fixing to do now. Alright folks, we got them off. I think I might save them. Who knows, I might could use that for some other hinge point on something. Or maybe I'll put that beam up in there and make the hinge points down below it for an awning or something. But anyway, I just got to grind them bolts off, and then I can get my beam up in there and do some measuring. Alright folks, we got the bolts that was sticking through cut flush, and I even went ahead and cleaned up both beams where the cross beam is going to get welded to. Now I got to take a measurement from point A to point B, transfer that measurement on here. But I'm going to have to do some trial fits because I'm going to have to cut out around this little bracket because I want the beam to push flush against this roof. So it's going to have to, I can't just weld it underneath here because it'll have a gap the thickness of that bracket. So I'm going to have to whittle out around that on the beam. Alright, I took a measurement and it's 86.5 inches from inside to inside. So I got to cut this beam 86.5 inches long. This beam is like 94 inches long. So the center point would be 47. I like starting in the middle of stuff and going outwards from the middle of whatever project I'm building. So here's the center part of this beam. And what was it, 86.5 I said? So I'm going to come out 43.25 from that center point, and I'm going to cut off that end wherever that lands at, and that'll get rid of that piece with the hole in it. And there's also a piece with a hole on that end. So if I start in the center, come out whatever I need to come out each way from it, hack off the ends, I'll have a nice beam, and I can kind of lay it up in there, and then I'll have to like whittle out a little piece of the corner so it can go around this. That's the plan anyway. Alright, I came out from my center mark 43.25 on both ends, and then I flipped the beam over with a square, went all the way around it with a square and a Sharpie. So now I'm fixing to cut it off on both ends and do a little rough fit up here, see if it'll slide in the gap up there, and then I'll start marking out for that little corners that I got to cut out of the beam. We did it! Looks like a laser beam did it, but it's just this cutoff wheel. Alright, let's see if it fits up there. Alright, I've got these little stainless steel L brackets I found in the dumpster at work. I got those kind of helping me hold it up. One on one end, one on the other, but it's a touch too long. I'm talking about a cutoff wheel thickness. The thickness of a cutoff wheel blade is too thick, so I'm gonna Just trim one side off a hair and it should slide up in there. Alright, there it's tapped up in there. I do actually take 2 cutoff wheel widths off of it and tapped it on up in there. Now you can see this is what I was talking about. I got to mark right here with a Sharpie and cut out a little notch right here where this beam can slide up towards the roof around this flat bracket. Got to do that on both sides. And you can see the roof is touching in the middle, but it's got slight gaps on either side, I guess because the roof is sagging a little bit. But that's alright. Like I've said 100 times in the past, I'm building a Timex, not a Rolex, so that'll work just fine. Alright, let me mark these cutouts out and get it down and cut them. Then I gotta go tote that heavy ass welder from the shed out here. Look who come to visit. Mr. Wiggy, what you doing? Socks, say hi. Let's see if I can get him with this cord. Mr. Wiggy, you ain't helping at all. Bad piggy. Alright. I got it notched, cut out, pushed up in there pretty tight, cleaned up to get ready for the weld. About the same on this side. This side could actually stand to go up a little bit more. But pretty good. I'm about to die of thirst, so I'm fixing to go in and get something to drink and then tote that damn welder out here. So we'll see how far I get today. Alright, here's my aluminum welding setup. Hobart Handler 210. I normally weld steel with it, but I got this aluminum gun attachment, spool gun. I ain't really good at the aluminum, but I got a nice little clean spot for my ground clamp here. I'm fixing to get up here and weld this seam as best as I can. Y'all ignore it when it looks ugly. Alright, this is the first one I did, and as you can see, it ain't got as much penetration as it should. Probably going to go back over it, but I turned the heat up and the wire speed. Then I hit this back side and this bottom one, and it looks much better. Definitely not a professional welder. I'm sure there's professional welders out there just turning their nose up at this right now, but hey man, it'll work. But I'm gonna go over that one, and then I just can't get this one to stay up, so what I did is I got a bottle jack here, and I measured between the top of the bottle jack and the bottom of this beam, and it's 37 inches, so I'm gonna cut a 2x4 37 inches long and jack up on this handle just to push it that extra little bit up in there, and then I'll weld that one home, and we'll call this beam done for today. And then the next video y'all see me do, I'll be building the railing up on top of the roof. Alright, let me get busy. Alright, come over this with a second bead. It don't look that much better, but it's definitely got a little bit more penetration. But that's the thing, man. That's the problem I have with aluminum. Aluminum's just got to be so clean, and the settings on the welder got to be so right, and I can't always dial it right. That's why you're supposed to practice on scrap metal, but I wing it. But anyway, here I got a 2x4 cut, and I'm jacking up on this side. I got it pressed up in there where I want it. You can look, the roof's pretty much flat all the way across now. So I'm fixing to get up in there and weld that right now. Alright, here we go. It's all welded in. Here's one side. Not the most beautiful, but the roof's flat across. Here's this other side. A couple little hiccups here and there, but not too bad. Now I can check that off the list. So the next time I have a chance to make a video, it's going to be of the railing that goes right here on top of this roof. Gonna have about little 6 or 8 inch tall railing on the back, and it's gonna kind of like surround the future generator and the gas cans and stuff up there. And plus, you know, if we got some fold out chairs on the back deck here, we can just fold the chairs up like those little bag chairs, and then I could just reach through here and just toss the chair up here, and I know that it's not gonna like roll off because it's got a railing up there. Stuff like that. But all right, I've kind of, since I've decided to put that beam in, I've been dreading doing it, but I just got out here and did it today, and I'm glad I did. So one more thing off the to-do list. So all right, well, my wife's coming home and I got to do a brake job on her car, so I'm going to clean all this stuff up. Going to leave the welder in the boat for doing the railing next time. And I appreciate y'all joining me. I know it ain't exciting, and I know I get to talking and rambling on. Appreciate y'all hanging with me. And y'all have a good work week and take it easy.